Kindness is magic, the unexpected power of random acts of kindness. New research shows small gestures matter even more than we may think. In late August, Aaron Alexander, 57, sat in the parking lot of a Target store in Fairfield, California, and wept. Her sister-in-law had recently died, and Miss Alexander was having a hard day. A barista working at the Starbucks inside the Target was too. The espresso machine had broken down, and she was clearly stressed. Miss Alexander, who had stopped crying and gone inside for some caffeine, smiled, ordered an iced green tea, and told her to hanging there. After picking up her order, she noticed a message on the cup. Aaron, the barista had scrawled next to a heart. Your soul is golden. I'm not sure I even necessarily know what your soul is golden means, said Miss Alexander, who laughed and cried while recalling the incident. But the warmth of that small and unexpected gesture from a stranger who had no inkling of what she was going through moved her deeply. Of course, I was still really sad, Miss Alexander said, but that little thing made the rest of my day. New findings published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology in August corroborate just how powerful experiences like Miss Alexander's can be. Researchers found that people who perform a random act of kindness tend to underestimate how much the recipient will appreciate it. And they believe that miscalculation could hold many of us back from doing nice things for others more often. We have this negativity bias when it comes to social connection. We just don't think the positive impact of our behaviors is as positive as it is, said Marisa Franco, a psychologist and author of Platonic, How the Science of Attachment Can Help You Make and Keep Friends, who did not work on the recent research. With a study like this, I hope it will inspire more people to actually commit random acts of kindness, she said. The recent study comprised 8 small experiments that varied in design and participants. In one, for example, graduate students were asked to perform thoughtful acts of their own choosing, like giving a classmate a ride home from campus, baking cookies, or buying someone a cup of coffee. In another, research recruited 84 participants on 2 cold weekends at the ice skating rink at Maggie Daley Park in Chicago. They were given a hot chocolate from the snack kiosk and were told they could keep it or give it to a stranger as a deliberate act of kindness. The 75 participants who gave away their hot chocolate were asked to guess how big the act of kindness would feel to the recipients on a scale from 0, very small, to 10, very large, and to predict how the recipient would rate their mood, ranging from much more negative than normal to much more positive than normal upon receiving the drink. The recipients were then asked to report how they actually felt using the same scales. In that experiment and across all others, the people doing the kind thing consistently underestimated how much it was actually appreciated. said one of the study's authors, Amit Kumar, an assistant professor of marketing and psychology at the University of Texas, Austin. We believe these miscalibrated expectations matter for behavior, he said. Not knowing one's positive impact can stand in the way of people engaging in these sorts of acts of kindness in daily life. Another experiment in the study was devised to help researchers better understand this tendency to underestimate the power of our own kind acts. In it, Dr. Kumar and his team recruited 200 participants in Maggie Daly Park. A control group of 50 participants received a cupcake simply for participating in the study and rated their mood. Another 50 people did not receive a cupcake, rated how they thought the receivers would feel after getting the cupcake. A third group of 50 people were told they could give a cupcake away to strangers and were asked to rate their own mood as well as how they believed the recipients would feel. Once again, the researchers found that those who get a cupcake as a result of a random act of kindness felt better than the person on the given end thought they would. Also, people who got a cupcake because of an act of kindness rated themselves higher on a happiness scale than those who got one simply for participating in the study, suggesting they got an emotional boost from the gesture in addition to the cupcake itself. People tend to think that what they're given is kind of little. Maybe it's relatively inconsequential, Dr. Kumar said, but recipients are less likely to think along those lines. They consider the gesture to be significantly more meaningful because they're also thinking about the fact that someone did something for them. I guess it's true because sometimes you do something and you don't really think of it, but for that person, you never know in that moment in time how that person might appreciate what you did, even though you don't really consider it as that important. And the article goes on to talk about how to show others you care and so forth. So I'm going to end it right there and put the link to the article